Now, property investment mentor and speaker Thomson has recently released his latest book titled Plan B: How South Africans Can Invest in UK Property Remotely. In Plan B, Thomson offers insight into how the UK property market works by putting specific focus on how one can grow the investment portfolio through refinancing and building cash flow from day one through interest-only funding. Well, Thomson joins us now on Zoom to help us unpack this offering. Sean, a very good morning to you. Welcome to Morning Live. What was it about the UK property investment market that appeals to you so much that you had to put focus on it through this book?
Morning, Lebo. I think it all goes back to my story. I got started in property investment in 2004 in the UK. I think for me, it was just highlighting to South Africans what is possible out there. You mentioned it very nicely there, the ability to create cash flow from day one using investor finance, which is absolutely doable. The ability to refinance, so buying something we call dirty and smelly, fixing it up, which is where you make your money in property investments, and then being able to refinance at a higher value, which really allows you to recycle the money that you've got and get you into a position where you can build a property portfolio as a South African in a first world economy.
Now, you start the book off by sharing your own personal story of how you started your own property investment journey. Briefly tell us about that journey and where it all started.
Well, I alluded to it a little bit. I moved to the UK at the start of the millennium in 2000. I got a job for the Daily Mail, very often referred to as the Deadly Mail, and pretty much 6 months into that job, I realized that what I was doing just really wasn't for me. And it was took a while for me. It was sort of end of 2003. I was in OR Tambo. I picked up an inspirational book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Wasn't much of a reader at the time, but couldn't put the book down. And Robert Kiyosaki talks a lot about investment strategies and ideas. And the one thing that really hit home for me, even though the book had lots of dollar signs in it, he spoke about finding people who were doing what you wanted to do. And that got me into a room in June of 2004. I met my own rich dad, Mark Dalton, that weekend. And he really pointed me in the direction of how to get started. I was living in London. The prices in London were absolutely phenomenal for me. I couldn't get my head around them at that particular point in time. So together with my business partner, we went up to a little town just north of Manchester called Burnley. And we started our sort of investment strategy up there. We looked at sort of really low-valued buy-to-let properties that we bought. My first property we bought for £26,000. We spent £5,000 on it. We refinanced that property at £42,000. We put a tenant in, created cash flow, and we repeated that cookie-cutter process, that same thing that we did over and over again. That got me down to doing some property deals down in Liverpool, in London. And almost for the last 10 years now, I've been investing almost exclusively in South Wales, but doing bigger commercial to residential investment deals as well as land development. So it really has been an 18-year journey. And for me, the ability to be able to give back, someone helped me in 2004, has been a big driver in me wanting to help other people and focusing more on South Africans to really grow their wealth moving forward.
Now, you also share useful advice for those interested on how to get started. I mean, unpack this for us.
I think the bottom line is, myself and my business partner, Peter Martinez, started a company called Wealth Trek. And really, I think the importance of educating, supporting ordinary South Africans to do some pretty extraordinary things in UK property. It's all there. It's all doable. The ability to get finance, the ability to to find good valued property deals, even though you're 13,000 miles away from where you're investing, is absolutely doable. And I think the bottom line is a lot of South Africans think when they think UK property, they think London, they think £750,000 for a little 1-2 bedroom flat. Where our clients get started doing pretty much what I did, buying in areas like Wales and Scotland, north of England, where you can pick up good valued property deals at sort of £40,000 to £60,000. So I think that the bottom line is it's massively, massively important, Lebo, to educate yourself. I loved what Bahati said in the interview beforehand, is arming yourself with knowledge, which is so massively important. Formulating a strategy, so having a plan. They say going into something without a plan is planning to fail at the end of the day. Getting yourself prepared, setting up the right entity to invest through, having the bank accounts, the professional team, the solicitors, the brokers, and then the right vetted third-party service providers who work on the ground for you, like sourcing agents, builders, management agents, that type of thing. And I think the book does really give you a fantastic introduction into the principles of investing, whether that's the UK, whether that's, elsewhere in the world, that it really is possible for South Africans with the right team, the right education and the right support.
Now, in the book, you also share case studies of people that have invested with the guidance of Wealth Tech. Tell us more about these.
Well, I think one of the things that I'm incredibly proud of is that, obviously the COVID pandemic played a major role in the world stopping, and our clients have bought more than 120 million rands worth of property in the UK virtually throughout the pandemic, and I think that is something that I'm incredibly proud of. In terms of them getting started, I think of the likes of Belinda, who bought 3 or 4 properties off the go. She, little baby buy-to-lets, as we call them, all the way down in Wales. And she's now sort of moving up, if you like, and doing some bigger, more elaborate strategies. I think of Martin and Casper, the first property they bought in Wales as well. There's a whole host. Dimitri comes to mind as well. A whole host of clients that we've worked with who've really gone out there, just ordinary South Africans. They've tapped into the network that I've spent 18 years producing, the education, the support, like I said, that we provide, and they've followed the process, they've trusted the process, and they've created some pretty extraordinary results. So for me, life is all about giving back, and the more you give, the more you get. So for me, that's something that is something very close to my heart.
All right. Sean Thomson, thank you so much for talking to us. We've been discussing his latest book titled Plan B: How South Africans Can Invest in UK Property Remotely. Get yourself a copy of that book if you're out there at bookshops.